we started a company called B-Service, reselling this company in Utah. And we quickly became one of the larger web hosting companies in the United States, moved the company up to Seattle, and eventually sold to Micron Electronics in December of '99 for $50 million in cash. During that time, also, when I had this web hosting company, I had an idea to do a software as a service for small to medium business analytics. And at the time, it was really hard to get analytics on who was coming to your website. You could download log files. You could have a company called WebTrends, for example, where you buy their software, and it would take an overnight process to generate some rudimentary PDF about who was coming to your website, but it wasn't in real time, and the reports were pretty bad. So I contacted a friend of mine named Josh James and John Pastana. They were doing web development at the time, and we created a company called Superstats. Eventually, this company became Omniture, which is the big analytics company that went public and Adobe purchased several years ago. After that time, I decided to kind of go old school. My brother and I started several Plato's Closets in Utah, and those are ongoing. We have 3 stores. It's kind of a resale for secondhand clothing for teenagers and college-age kids. And then I started 2 different companies, Uberplay and Simply Fun, and this was in the board game space. Has anyone here played Settlers of Catan or Ticket to Ride or Carcassonne? And so I fell in love with these games coming from Germany and realized that in the United States, people didn't know about these games. This is in the early 2000s. And so I flew to Germany and learned everything I could learn about board games. So how they were published, how they were marketed, how they were printed. Met all the big game designers over there, including Klaus Teuber of Settlers of Catan. And so I partnered with Klaus's son Guido to develop a company called Uberplay. And we took some of the best games from Germany and developed them for the American market. So Tanga's vision is matching products to people. And so we want to create the thrill of discovery every single day for every single customer. So we want to put the right product at the right price point at the right time in front of every single customer that comes to our website. And that's our vision. So now that you know a little bit about Tanga and my background, I want to talk about culture. For me, a culture-rich company builds the best and strongest and fastest growing company. And, I'm going to talk about some of the things that we've done in Tanga to create that culture. But in general, culture, a highly rich cultured company creates the biggest rewards. And so in culture-rich companies, revenues are typically up 682% from non-culture rich companies. Stock price, 902%. Valuations over 100%. Net income, 756%. Job growth, 182%. And so in culture-rich companies, people are incentivized to stick around and to come up with their best ideas, to be creative, and to be able to work their hardest and most efficient. And that culture creates the environment for that to happen. So one is vision sharing, and that's something that you have to do over and over and over again. You have to repeat it so many times people are sick of hearing about it. So your culture doesn't match your management style. So I think this is a problem with a lot of different companies where the CEO comes in, they recruit a person, they say, yeah, you know what, we're totally hands off. We don't micromanage. We just want you to work your hardest. We want you to come up with these amazing ideas and implement them. And then when the employee starts, they realize very quickly they're being micromanaged, that it's not a flexible work environment. So what you're sharing is your vision, what you want to have as your culture doesn't match your actual management style. So your employees aren't involved in creating the culture. And a lot of times, I don't even have to do much in creating the culture of the company. It's been set from the beginning. And we actually had a group of our employees create what's called a culture club. And they get together on a regular basis, and just without even me asking, they come up with fun things for our company to do, probably every other week. And so we'll have a fan day during the Super Bowl where people wore their favorite team jerseys. We'll have a kickball day where on Friday afternoon we'll go out and play kickball. We did Ugly Sweater Day. And so there's always things going on where you can create these kind of fun things for you to do with your employees and get your employees involved. And they've really done an amazing job in coming up with fun things for us to do. So last time we brainstormed the things that were important to them personally. So some people were interested in helping pet shelters, and some people wanted to do Habitat for Humanity, and somebody wanted to do help work at the library. And so we had about 8 different ideas, and then each one of these people in the committee would go and try to figure out what the service opportunities were. I put on here that I had 2 free tickets to a Cardinals game, but they weren't for sale, they were free, but in order for you to get these tickets, you had to call his number and not say anything, but just do a really bad Chewbacca impersonation. and then you aren't supposed to say anything, you're just supposed to hang up, but he'll have your number in his caller ID. And so he would write down who had the best Chewbacca impersonation, and then in 2 days he would call the winner. And then, but if you even mentioned anything else besides doing the Chewbacca thing, you were eliminated. And so he was getting calls of people just, doing this horrible Chewbacca impersonation. He had no idea what was going on. So when I turned it into a real business, my first actual manager was my CMO, Matt Mullen, who's been with me at every single company. So he was at Simply Fun, and then I ended up taking him from that company to work here. And that was probably 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, and our growth has happened in the past 5 years. So for me, would be to hire the right people a little more quickly. And sometimes you have to do that before you even have the revenue to support the hires. Because if you hire the right people, then they can help drive the revenue and the profitability and the growth to support themselves. And I've always been a little bit timid in that regard, where I should have been doing these hires 4 or 5, 6 years ago. We've done a lot of our hires over the past 2 or 3 years. And I think we probably double the revenue if I would have done it. When you come into our company, I think it's fun, it's exciting. We're doing some really cool stuff on the e-commerce and technology side and the marketing side and the personalization of product to people. And I think all of that is kind of part of our culture that drives people to want to work for us. I mean, my goal would be to have people just lined up at the door wanting to work for